For those who aren't aware, Amazon on February 26th is removing the ability to download copies of books from your content library, from your Amazon account. This has been making waves since it was discovered because it removes the ability for end users to get copies of their books. Now, why do people want to download those books? It used to be before the age of WhisperSync, where when you buy books, they just get transferred to your various devices. You had to do that manually. You had to download a copy of a book and then transfer that via USB, perhaps to a Kindle device. But people also like to download and archive their books for various reasons. You might have spotty access to Wi-Fi. You may have a very specific way that you're getting your books from your computer onto certain devices. Maybe they're pre-WhisperSync, maybe they're non-Kindle devices. And in that case, you can download those books and remove the DRM, convert them to EPUBs, and get them over to some other device. Now, it's important to note that if you use Amazon and Kindle in a way that you simply buy the books and transfer them to various readers or apps, that will still be available. There's no need to do anything here if you're not worried about downloading those books specifically. You can still get them to different apps and readers without a problem. But again, some people like to have access to those books for various reasons. Also, there are cases where Amazon removed books from devices because a publisher published books that they didn't have rights to publish. There's a somewhat famous example of a publisher putting out 1984 by George Orwell. When that was discovered, Amazon removed those books from various e-readers without their customers actually realizing that was happening. Also, they can change covers or even the text. There's another example of Roald Dahl's books having the text changed to be less offensive. There are various reasons you might want to download your books, but time is running short. And I debated on not even creating this video because time is running so short, but many of the people who watch this channel are writers, and you may have readers, and you may want to warn them. You may have a newsletter you might want to send out to folks, or an email list, or what have you. I will post a link to a Verge article that explains this in more detail. I will also post a link to a fellow YouTuber. The channel is How to Do Stuff, and he posts a way to download the books programmatically. There's a way that you can download an extension called TamperMonkey, and you can load a script that will download a bunch of files at once instead of doing them one by one, which is what I'm going to show you in a second. If you don't have that many books, that'll be fine. Now, if you do something else programmatically, some other tool someone creates, I'm not vouching for the one I'm linking. Do your due diligence. But I did see that a lot of people are using the one that he recommends, and so it may work for you. Just do a little bit more research to make sure it's going to work okay on your end. Okay, so how do you download them one by one? If you go into your Amazon account and you click on the account and lists, under there's your content library. If you click on the content library, there will be a books selection. If you click on those books, you will come up with something like this. You'll see your digital content. And then you can select the more actions on any one of your books. Click on that and say download and transfer via USB. Now, you have to have a Kindle registered to your Amazon account for this next part to work. If you don't, you won't be able to download them. But assuming that you do, you can select one of the Kindles, say download, and that will go to the standard download directory, whatever directory you've specified for your browser. So I can see success, downloaded your Kindle content. And then if I go to that directory, I can see that it downloaded, and I've done this a few times just to make sure I knew the process. It will have downloaded the AZW3. That is the format that encapsulates the EPUB inside of it, plus additional information for digital rights management. And those files, the AZW3 files, can be fed into other programs, I think like Calibre, and others to get the EPUB out of that file and then share it to other devices or store it however you want to store it, or both. And so it's simply a matter of going and downloading all of them. Just transfer more and more of these one by one. Say download. If I go back, I can see I have that one now, Bookshops and Bone Dust. So make sure you go into your library if this is important to you, download those books, and maybe share with others as well. For those of you who are new, this is a writing-centric channel, but I am going to be posting more publishing news type videos to keep you abreast of all the latest things that are happening in the publishing world. If you're interested in either of those things, be sure to hit subscribe. And if this was useful to you, please hit the like button. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace, everyone.